Hi everyone, just me again. I want to do a quick video on, I did change my forecast for a couple of reasons here. Um, this is the new GFS, and what I've noticed is there's a couple things that are different, and the GFS seems to be bringing the system further north, so is the North American model, the NAM. The European hasn't come in yet, so I'm not sure about that. But the NAM and the GFS seem to be bringing in uh, a strong storm, but it's further north, which would mean that the heaviest snow would be further inland, away from the coast. Not that the coast wouldn't get snow, but it would be more of a moderate snowfall as opposed to a heavy snowfall, and then the inland areas would get a heavy snowfall. So I'm just gonna go. This is the jet stream, and then this is what I want to point out. Look at this. This jet streak is further north now on the GFS, meaning that the upper level divergence is further north. So the storm would still be to the south, but it would be further north as compared to previous model runs. Although I will say in the evening, the jet streak does go back to the south, so there is a chance that in the evening the coastal areas may luck out and get the heavier snow, but um, we'll just have to watch and see about that because it does seem to keep its northern track. And then you go to the 500 millibar vorticity, and you have your trough here, which is now neutrally tilted. So here's the system that's going to create the storm. It's strong. Look at that, the deep colors there. It's pretty strong. But yeah, so again, these just strong colors here, little disorganized, but still a decent system. But it's more negatively tilted. You don't really like it when a trough is more negatively tilted because it comes too far north. And then inland areas get the snow and the coast does not. But again, the coast is still going to get snow. It's just not going to be as heavy as the inland areas. But what I'm seeing here is compared to previous model runs, the trend here is for a further north track of the storm, and that's also true for the NAM. And I have not seen the European yet, but um, based on the NAM and the GFS and what I saw with the European last night, I think this is a pretty consistent signal, which is why I did change my forecast, and I'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Um, and then, of course, the other thing to look at is the vertical velocity to see what the rising air looks like. And I've been doing this on all my videos since the storm started. So you could see that by actually now, it's 18Z about now, Zulu time. You have strong upward motion across Virginia. This is likely rain down here, but the northern end across Pennsylvania going into the mid-Atlantic, that's probably snow. Then it comes into New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania and the southern Catskills. Comes into Long Island, New York City, southern New England, going up to Boston, and then going up into Maine and out. So there's a lot of upward motion here, which would lead me to believe that there is the potential for very heavy snow all across the area here. So again, something to look at. Now, there's something else I want to point out before I go over my forecast here. So you could see that the storm has already started, right? So here it is. It's about 18 Zulu time right now. So you could see that, and I'll show you the radar too before I go to my forecast. What I want you to pay attention to right now is the measurement of the low pressure. So we're starting at 1,003 millibars, right? Now, a low is strengthening when the millibars decrease. For it to be a bomb cyclone, it has to drop 24 millibars in 24 hours. Now, I don't believe this particular low does that, but it does strengthen as it comes up. And when you have a low that's strengthening as it's coming up the coast and it's producing a snowstorm, you're going to get the heaviest snow in the process of that low doing its strengthening. So I would say that it's strengthening mainly between the Mid-Atlantic and Boston. So that whole area from like Baltimore and Philadelphia going up to Boston, that including New York City and Long Island and the Southern Catskills and the Lower Hudson Valley, that whole area is going to be in the path of the heaviest snow. So let's take a look at this surface map and look at the low here. So now we're at 1,001, 999. So that's this evening. So we've strengthened not too much, but enough that it's still producing heavy snow on the back end. 995, that's a little better. So yeah, that's why I think southern and middle New England are probably going to get the most snow. I do believe that's going to be the case here. Seems to strengthen the most when it gets up to Boston. And then it continues to strengthen as it gets up to the Gulf of Maine. 990. So we went from 1,003 to 990 in less than 24 hours. So, not a bomb cyclone, but still it's strengthened and it is producing heavy snow. Alright, I'll show you the radar now, if I could find it. Okay, let's see. Here we go, radar. Get rid of the alerts. Alright, not sure if I can get rid of the alerts. Alright, I'm not gonna be able to show you the radar. But there is snow back here and it is coming. These are winter storm warnings in pink, winter weather advisories in purple. So yeah. Let me. God, these emails are annoying. Alright. So this is my new forecast right now. It's based on a combination of the NAM and the GFS. So this is actually, what I want you to notice is it starts out like kind of skinny and what's the word? Skinny and not widened out, but then it fans out as you go up, because remember I told you that the low is strengthening as it's coming up the coast. So starting in New Jersey, it's just skinny and short, but then this 6 to 10 will fan out as it gets towards Boston and then Vermont, because that's typical as a low pressure goes up the coast. Those heavy amounts, they start skinny and then they fan out like such. Another thing to keep in mind, so this 6 to 10 is an upgrade from 4 to 8, because I am concerned about the fact that low will be strengthening as it comes up the coast, and I'm worried about stronger snow amounts with mesoscale snow banding. And when you have snow bands that develop within the main storm, within the comma head region, that can very often lead to stronger snowfall amounts. And so in this case, what I'm calling it is not just a 6 to 10, but a 6 to 10 locally 12. So keep that in mind. It's not just 6 to 10. It's 6 to 10 inches locally, locally 1 foot, locally 12 inches, wherever snow banding does occur, and there's enough time for extra snow to accumulate. Then in other inland areas that are too far away from the coast, and then at the coast, like places like coastal New Jersey, and then Long Island, New York City, and then coastal Connecticut. In these areas, I'm predicting 4 to 6 inches. And then again, if snow banding occurs, you may get locally 8 inches. But I'm not predicting 4 to 8 anymore. I did downgrade this just because the storm is very close, and I just have a feeling the heaviest snow is going to be inland. But I still think that a good 4 to 6 is possible in these areas along the coast. I live in Long Island, so I'm kind of hoping that I get something out of this, a good 6 inches. So we'll have to see. And then Cape Cod, I'm predicting like a 1 to 4, because it's going to be a lot of rain on Cape Cod. All right, and that's about it. So I'll see you guys for the next snowstorm. Take care until then. Bye bye.